From KC24, your local election headquarters, with your host, Alexan Balakian. This is Sunday Morning Matters.
And welcome into Sunday Morning Matters, the special afternoon edition, if you will. Yes, we hit the snooze button just a bit. I'm Alexan Balakian. No snoozing on the race for 2020 here in the Valley. Congressman Jim Costa's first Republican challenger, Kevin Cookingham, is in studio. Plus the fight over fracking. The state director, Ami Famia Vota, Sam Molina, also in studio. But we begin with Fresno Unified embroiled in a racially charged social media scandal gaining national attention. A 14-year-old Bullard High School cheerleader used the N-word while wearing blackface. In a letter to the community, the student's parents says it happened on May 23rd. They explained how their daughter was at the home of a friend who is African American. The video was shared with a few friends, and then it was shared on social media, and it spread like wildfire. On Tuesday, Fresno Unified School District Superintendent Bob Nelson addressed the controversy.
We stand here because we had a failure, and failure is incredibly hard. But failure can be good if it moves you to something better. Can you fail forward? And that's what we're trying to do here today, is fail forward with this issue. It's kind of weird. Being kind in the world today is like a counterculture phenomenon. Like somehow there's weakness in being kind and in trying to see people in their humanity. That is an absolute shame, and not one that we can perpetuate in a system where we deal with 1 to 18-year-olds. With all due respect, I'm going to give you a little context. There are 106 schools and 74,000 kids. If you think or have any delusion that we're going to have every interaction go exactly to the guideline, you're underestimating the complexity of what we're doing every day.
Well, Superintendent Nelson says they will implement programs moving forward. The parents of the student breaking their silence with a heartfelt letter. In part, it says, quote, "Our daughter, thinking she and her friend were sharing a private joke, went along with it. When we learned of the situation, we were distraught," end quote. You could read the entire letter on our website, yourcentralvalley.com. Private joke or not, racism alive and well in our schools, and frankly, in schools in every corner of the country. I hope parents are having this conversation with their children about this, and we're going to have our very own right now with our panel. Let's take roll call. News director and columnist for GV Wire, Bill McEwen, the senior producer and co-host of Chris Daniels' show on KMJ, Philip Teresi, and community economic development leader Tate Hill. Thank you guys for all being here. And you know, Tate, I want to start with you here. You heard the press conference from the superintendent. Your first initial thoughts when he said, "We did fail, but now we're hoping to fail forward." What were your first initial thoughts when you heard that?
No, I really appreciated the superintendent taking responsibility and saying that we have a lot of work to do here in Fresno. Oftentimes we see people run away from hard decisions and hard conversations about race and ethnicity and equality. And I really appreciated the superintendent, along with some of the trustees and parents, saying that we really need to create this, allow this to be a teaching moment for not only the young person involved, but all those students and parents and adults that are engaging with young people, and helping them to understand that the days of discrimination, of allowed racism, we have to change that.
Philip, I'll come to you now. Obviously, you heard about failing forward. I want to add on top of that, they had like a round table with students and teachers. They were discussing what really surprised you about this, and a lot of them said this doesn't surprise us, that this would happen.
I don't think that it's surprising that this will happen. Young people say stupid, insensitive things, and that's part of being a young person, and that doesn't make it acceptable. There's nobody at 15 years old in 2019, just like there wasn't anybody at 15 years old when I was in high school in 1995, that thought that blackface was acceptable, and thought that dropping the N-word was acceptable. Kids know better. But they like to push boundaries. They like to say shocking and titillating things amongst friends. And I think that one of the opportunities that was missed here, along with the essential message that you cannot use racism as humor, is that you cannot allow compromising media to exist. You cannot assume that joking with a friend in good faith is going to stay a joke between friends. It's silly to think that none of us here have said something crass or off color in a private moment with friends.
Yeah, especially in high school, you think you know who your friends are until suddenly they're not. And I'm not saying that that's this particular situation. It could be perceived as that. Bill, I want to come to you because, again, the message that the superintendent is giving out, is it the right one?
Well, I think in the big picture, it's the right one. It says Fresno Unified is going to work on this. The whole community has to work on this. I hope that people at home don't think, like a lot of people unfortunately do, our school system has to fix all of the city's problems. I think that is something that is happening in society, is our families facing and talking about the things that they need to do. Seems to me a lot of people, especially in Fresno, they're delegating that to the school district. As far as the term fail forward, I tweeted after this news conference that I look forward to the day that Fresno isn't failing forward. I mean, I hope there's a day when we're ahead of the game and we don't have to apologize for everything we do. And then finally, I think the rules, if you want to call them rules, are very complicated for kids because they can go on YouTube and see all kinds of hate and racism.
You know, under his watch, Bob Nelson has dealt with these issues time and time again. Is his time now coming up because these issues continue to pop up within Fresno Unified? Is this kind of a mirror under his leadership?
You know, I think in today's society, you're going to continue to see these kinds of issues, and they'll only get magnified because of social media, as others have said. But I think it's a learning lesson for, hopefully, for those young people, that they have to be mindful, but also for us as a community. I agree we can't put it all on the school district. As parents and family, we have a responsibility to make sure that our children's values reflect what our values are, and when they don't, how do we then respond to them?
Basically what I was saying is Bob Nelson's job safe.
I don't think you can hang this on Bob Nelson. Bob Nelson can't be in every single house telling every single kid, hey, I know your mom and dad didn't mention this, but the N-word's not cool.
Right. And I'm not putting this specific thing on him. I'm just saying as a whole. Is he doing a good enough job to keep his job? That's all I'm asking.
So, in my opinion, he is, but that's up to the 7 people that serve on that board.
That's on the board,
And
right.
in this day and age, superintendents, unless they're highly successful, they're on a very short leash.
I want to get to this. Social media, obviously, we know has become the root of evil for our kids, right? But some of this happened on campus because there was a situation where they were doing the same thing on campus as they were doing at the Fred's house. Is it time that we check social media at the door, meaning phones, iPods, any kind of device that you come to school with? Are we checking it at the door?
Well, I think kids and young people are wise enough and technologically savvy enough to get around whatever rules that we may impose.
I mean, on our school campuses, that means you once you enter the classroom, you're putting it in a locker, you're getting rid of it, you don't have it in class. Even maybe as you're entering the school, it's going into some kind of box or something like that, or just don't show up like a dress code. Does it turn into a dress code?
Unfortunately, Pandora's box is open on this one. The gnashing of teeth and rending of garments were any school district to suggest that students can't have their phones in their possession would drown out any common sense argument for that. I think that what we've got to do is we've got to make it a part of these kids' education, starting early, that they understand that when they put something, and it doesn't matter if it's on Facebook or Twitter, a private email, a Snapchat, something that you think is private, something that you think is going to stay between you and your friend, might as well send it right to the paper because it could end up there.
Bill, punctuated, I got 20 seconds.
So if I was the superintendent, I would have a mandatory life skills class. It would cover social media and a lot of other things like how to use an ATM and all the things you need to live in life when you come into 9th grade at the high school, be part of the curriculum.
All right, this conversation we could have all day, gentlemen, but a good start to the show. We appreciate it. They're going to be back for round 2 in a little bit. How about He took Fresno by storm, but is the Democratic Party taking him seriously? Mayor Pete solidifying his candidacy with a live town hall seen nationwide right here in Fresno. Hear from the Fresno Stonewall Democrats on what his visit meant to voters next.